Anyone who has ever met me would know pretty soon that I fall in love easily, with reflections in puddles, wafting fragrances, leafy love letters, raindrops kissing branches, soap bubble rainbows, and trees dancing overhead. Trees reminding my feet to breathe, reminding my heart to think, reminding my mind to love. And with these reminders, I have over the years in many countries have had the absolute privilege and blessing to be with and learn with and mostly to love children. Children who were learning to read and measure, to write, to build, and to grow. And children unlearning illusory boundaries and lies about themselves, seeking reminders to play and be free. I stand here today with immense gratitude to all who have trusted me, Juanita Rea, who they have known as the primary school teacher, the yogi, and the yoga, mindfulness, and meditation teacher, or the artist and the community arts facilitator, or the researcher and tech for good innovator, or maybe just as the socially driven human. I mostly stand here with gratitude to those who have been my biggest teachers. In 2000, Johannesburg, I found myself in a classroom as a first year teacher with a 4-year degree in education that hadn't prepared me for children experiencing racism, potential grooming, neglect, suicidal thoughts. With no counselor or support services, feeling stressed about lessons and exams I had no say in, I took in candles and a daily affirmation book. I had regular chats with the kids during lessons, and I led secular nature focused meditations. It seemed to help. In my second year, I started the art and drama clubs and directed and produced the school concerts. In my third year, I realized that it was all of these supplementary activities that brought us moments of true connection and informed the inclusive arts and mindfulness based approaches that I integrated into the prescribed curriculum frameworks around the world where I found myself as a teacher. In Seoul, in England, in the Philippines, Manila, in Khartoum, Sudan. And these strategies helped me and my learners to develop non judgmental attitudes and to cultivate the social and emotional skills we needed when facing challenges. Challenges like a typhoon in the Philippines, ongoing gun violence in inner city Johannesburg, a military coup in Khartoum. I loved being a school teacher, but in 2011, Typhoon Ondoy and the wisdom of the children in my class evoked an urgency in me to take action. So I decided to leave classroom teaching and set up EduSoil. EduSoil is an acronym. Everyone discovers ubiquitous seeds of infinite love, which for me and Anirudh Ashok and Amit Gupta, who joined me in 2012, as well as Narissa Mantri, Aya Al Junaid, and Ashika Naidu, who became part of the team over the years, the discovery of innate love, wisdom, joy, and passion to serve and protect our planets and all beings who occupy it happens through mindfulness and meditation, arts based therapeutic expression, opportunities to be in nature, and opportunities to be of service to those in need. We've worked with consultants and a diverse range of partners with broad skills and experience who share a passion to provide mental health support for underserved communities in India, South Africa, the Philippines, Sudan, and Northern Ireland. We do this work because we have a responsibility to every child on this planet. Yet today, our children are being murdered, and our planet is being destroyed on our watch. Compound stress resulting from social, political, environmental upheaval, personal trauma, academic and work anxiety contributes to mental disorders in 166 million children and youth and 970 million adults. The horror of these statistics motivate my team and I into asking who needs help and what can we do to help them. With volunteers, EduSoil has gone into communities affected by typhoons in the Philippines to provide mindfulness based psychosocial support. Into Nepal to support communities who had lost their homes and livelihoods due to the earthquake in 2016. In South Africa, most of our work has been in black townships and inner city settings where crime is prevalent. And we've trained teachers to deliver an early years literacy aligned yoga and mindfulness curriculum that teaches phonics alongside social and emotional skills. Making sure that the very first image of a child doing yoga is a black boy. Because in a world plagued by racism, we need to change negative narratives with positive images and positive self belief. With an aspiration to support the well being and agency of teachers and learners worldwide, I have served as country partner in the Philippines, South Africa, Sudan, and now Northern Ireland for the globally acclaimed Design for Change movement, using design thinking tools that empower children to be change makers. After running EduSoil full time for 7 years and reaching a low point financially and personally, I knew I needed to step away from teaching yoga and meditation for a while and needed a job in a place that I could be of service while prioritizing my own healing. And this is how Sudan became my home in 2018. Sudan broke my heart open in ways I never knew possible, teaching me about human suffering and resilience, waking me up to the reality of armed conflict, the prevalence of corruption, compelling me to fight for children whose lives do not matter to those seeking political control, and for people who are inconsequential to foreign powers invested in maintaining instability while they plunder resources. As at today, 19 million Sudanese children do not have a safe space to learn because of the ongoing war. While I no longer live in Sudan, my heart never left it. Since 2010, I have been living in Northern Ireland, where I have set up EduSoil and Design for Change, as well as Me Time Mandala, our Tech for Good startup. And in May 2023, with the support of Queen's University Belfast, where I am a visiting scholar, we held Songs for Sudan to raise awareness and funds to help people affected by the war. Ayman Mohammed was able to flee to Addis Ababa. Yet Muhammad Taha, former student at my old school, was 21 when he was shot dead in Khartoum in October 2022, a few months before the war erupted. My friend Javad Obuwan is Palestinian and in Palestine. These men are a reminder to me to aspire towards providing support to the most vulnerable and most at risk in the world. To live at a time when it feels like humanity is failing, I, like you, need reminders to not give up hope. I get these reminders when standing in a forest, when swimming in the sea, when creating socially engaged art, when meditating on my breath, when finding opportunities to access resources to help people, and when looking at feedback from people who we have worked with. The affirmations that what we offer actually makes a difference helps us persevere through our ongoing funding challenges. And since 2011, we've nurtured the well being of 16,000 people in 11 countries through on site programs and original print media, using digital platforms to host meditation tools and training modules for volunteers, teachers, and youth leaders. EduSoy will soon be launching an e commerce store that aims to break stereotypes about race, culture, language, gender, with personalized print on demand educational resources and merchandise that promote positive self talk. Through MeTime Mandala Limited, we are working towards building a culturally responsive, AI driven, and gamified platform to help teachers and learners take daily MeTime breaks. In November 2023, I stopped over to visit my nieces in London en route to Bangalore, India, where I was receiving a Changemaker Award. Mila and Arna, now 10, 10 and 6 years old, are, of course, full of questions. So I wasn't surprised when Mila asked me, "What did you change?" So I asked myself, "What did I change?" The truth is, the only thing I ever changed is myself. And my biggest teacher is the 4 year old me who didn't have a word for rape. It was 4 year old Mila who helped me recognize that I needed to hold the fears of the 4 year old me close enough to be able to stand up and do what was difficult and necessary. I moved to Belfast because I found a safe space here where I could let the artist that I've always been share poetry, songs, visual art, multidisciplinary performance in which I destigmatize childhood sexual trauma and domestic violence, address social injustice, and promote environmental activism because my silence would make me complicit, and I need to earn the right to bear witness to the dreams of children and to do everything I can to protect those dreams and nurture them. Standing here today, looking back on my journey, I see a school teacher who loves, a social edupreneur who dreams, a global education reformist who commits, a tech for good innovator who experiments, an interdisciplinary artist who surrenders. And within it all, I see just a human being discovering breathtaking moments in awe of the beauty of this little planet that I fiercely love.